Out episode 259. We were hoping to have on both Jack and Dominic Clifton this evening, of which neither have turned up currently, so we're waiting to hear what the story is. Apparently it may involve stairs
and
so
an
we'll
ambulance.
Who's thrown who down the stairs? We don't know. We'll find out later. Stay tuned. In the meantime, have either of you been flying?
Yes.
No.
I did. I win. What do I win? I was flying one review quad, which is called the Geelang 75 Anger, which I think has possibly the best name of any flying machine I've had. And the rebuild of the LAL 3 frame that I broke the other day, and I've put in a different frame. And I only flew 6 batteries, and I did post a picture of what my back looked like after walking back and forth to the field, and it was not pretty. It was very hot. Indeed.
Yeah, it's not weather for going on long, strenuous hikes through unsheltered paths, is it, at the moment?
It's not very good, no.
Or stringing words together, it turns out, but we'll see. Yeah,
I can hear a baby crying or something.
Yeah, I know.
That's just another random murder in London outside Frank's window.
Lots of stuff happens outside my window.
If someone's not being shanked outside his window, it's not a day with a wire.
Basically, yeah.
Hang on, I got a question from Clown. Is the Geelang the 6S? No, it is a 4S Whoop. Hang on, if I've got it here. Geelang. Where is it?
That's such brilliant company names. So I think Jack said he's ill being on the toilet, and he will tell us what's happened to our guest. Like we just pretending that we get guests on, and then when it comes to it, something happens and they say, "I'm not coming on, Jack. I hate you."
Or they're just throwing themselves down the stairs in some effort to say, "I didn't cancel. I had to go to the hospital instead." One of the two.
Apparently, Tommy didn't turn up for the other UK, the second best podcast. So
Okay, we're going to start a little.
We're going there, are we?
We're keeping it as real as them, aren't
we? Keep being pariahs. That's our new mission statement.
Mr. Shady, for his testimonial yesterday. Very, very appreciated. Thank you very much.
I think he basically told them that this is even less organised than us, and at that point, they deleted the stream from their channel because as soon as you get compared disfavourably to us, you know you've really sunk to the bottom, and you should pull all content away.
Yeah.
What's Mikey Dread saying? There's an elephant poking its nose through your window. Oh, yeah, I know.
Hang on. I feel I have to explain this one. Clown is going about the ones that are running these are the tiny 6S lipos. That is one called the... So I was just filming with this one earlier today. This is another exciting quad that they sent me to film with those little 6S lipos, called the Petrel 132. However, they sent me the 4S version. Petrel. So this has got 3,800 kV motors and will blow up on a 6S battery. But the only difference is the motors. So HGLRC is sending me new motors so I can check it out properly with the 6S. But I'll fly it as 4S, see what it's like. Then I'll fly it in 6S and see what it's like.
Yeah. I haven't flown I want to fly this weekend, but I don't know what the weather's going to be like. It keeps threatening to rain. I haven't seen any rain yet, apart from my brother sent a video of him on the M25, and it was literally like a river. But I haven't seen any, so I'm hoping it will stay dry enough to do some flying this weekend.
I think it probably either it's going to absolutely belt it down randomly without any prior knowledge, or it's going to be okay. So you might as well just go. And if lightning comes, that'd be an interesting experiment.
Well, I've got a waterproof quad.
I'm just thinking. basically, I'm here to try and market Tony and Jack's thumbnails, and I've just got one. I flew my quad in the rain. You won't believe what happened next. You can go with that one.
Yeah, dot.
Have a little
Yeah, I
exterior
can do
camera,
that.
so when you get lit up by the lightning, you can use with your controller.
Yeah,
You need the old 35 meg days, don't you? So pull the big aerial out, hold it in the sky.
I
better.
go home when my poles are all carbon. When I'm cleaning windows and there's a thunderstorm, I literally pack up and go home anyway. So, yeah, not good. So, what was we talking about earlier? We were talking about
We were talking about cine whoops,
yes,
but like the big ones, they're sort of the 3 inches, like these guys,
yeah.
weren't we?
There's new props out. I can't remember. Name some prop manufacturers, and I'll say yes, and I'll tell you who it was.
Gem Fan.
Yes. Well done. You win.
That's good, because my next one was going to be Tesco, because I couldn't think of anything.
Gem Fan have got a new prop out for the 3-inch. It's a 5-bladed, and it's supposed to like literally cut the sound in half because they're so noisy, aren't they? I don't know what they're going to be like. How less
It
efficient.
kind of feels
more
like
efficient, or...
more blades should equal more sound. Let's ask the physics expert, Frank.
I guess because you're not moving them as fast or something, so you reduce the tip speed. Tip speed is important. Fraser Steen in the chat will talk a lot about tip speed. But
That sounds like a late night chat.
Does this mean the pitch is much less? Because we were just talking before we came on air and decided we should have this conversation on air. I was talking about this one overheating, and Tony, you were saying your motors get quite hot.
They do get hot.
Because we're talking about like quite fast props in a stupidly heavy thing for the size. So I'm thinking if it's 5-bladed, surely you need to reduce the pitch quite a lot for it to not burn up, basically.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping. Well, apparently he's cut the sound in half, so I'm going to try some. I think I'm going to order some next time. I need to order some stuff. Yeah, I think we've asked Tony Cake to come on. I know he went on. I think he went on Joshua Bardwell, didn't he?
He was with Bardwell, yeah.
So he probably thinks that's enough. But we will try again. I
personally messaged him on Facebook, and he has ignored me as well. Just to show how much clout I bring to it.
Cake or Barbwell?
We have had a request for someone to be a guest. We've had an email from someone saying, "Can I come on your show?"
Really?
What?
I know.
Have they seen this show?
I'm not sure they have. So we'll see how that goes.
Okay, have you got any? Do we know who it is or?
Yes-ish. Like I only know for unusual reasons, but it's not. I don't think they're kind of FPV crowdish, but we'll see. It could be entertaining.
Okay.
Can you tell us who it is, or am I going to have to just search through the email account now and find it?
It's only like the penultimate email, I think. But yeah, it could be interesting. But yes, you can email the show at letsdroneout@gmail.com.
People actually email?
You should email the show. You should send in your FPV horror stories, which we're collecting for the end of October for our Halloween special, where we will be going over the FPV horror stories that you send in to us. And Jack has a lovely special one that he has previewed for the patrons, and already we are a bit dubious about that one. We'll see. But yes, if you send in your FPV horror stories to letsdroneout@gmail.com, we will collect them up for the... Can
you explain more? What have you got to send in of your horror story? Just a literal story written down, or can you... What?
Ideally... so we've actually had an entry already, I believe.
Okay. And this is going to be...
There we go.
There he is.
Hello, I am very sorry for my lateness. I am...
Very loud.
Sorry.
Oh no,
I
you
was
didn't make me
moaning-
touch the mic, did you?
I was moaning
I don't
about
know.
Frank for being too quiet, and then you're too loud.
Oh dear.
Can I just say I've read the email
Yep.
and I'm extremely concerned that they haven't seen the show. I mean, the guy didn't even send his own email. He got an assistant to do it. This is not looking good.
Oh,
But
God.
okay.
I think this will be amazing.
I think I might have the day off that day.
Do almost horror stories count too? Absolutely. Near misses. Excellent. We want to hear all of these. Anything that will get us all cringing and wincing.
Is this
and
for
all
our
that.
October session?
Yes, for our Halloween special that we're going
You
to
can
do.
probably expect me to talk somewhat about where was your beeper during all these stories, I expect. Because that's
Oh,
just
here
going
we
to
go.
happen, isn't it?
So, Jack,
it-
can you tell us what happened to our guest? You know, we tell people we're getting these people on, and then stuff happens. What's happened today?
He fell down the stairs. He was working in Rhonda, and he's been up and down ladders all day. And then he comes home to do the show, and he calls me about 20 minutes for the show, and he called me on Discord, and he's fallen down the stairs and
That
hurt
is
his
such an old man thing to do.
back and all that. So I was like, I hope you get better. And yeah, he's seeing about getting an ambulance and stuff. Which is not a good time to.
So it's
have
proper.
that
It's
sort
not
of-
joking then.
No, it's not a joke.
No,
Unfortunately, most people.
The excuse is valid.
Because we
Yeah.
did think, has he thrown himself down the stairs, or has he, in fact, just lay on the carpet, take a picture of himself, and say, "Jack, I'm sorry, I've fallen down the stairs. I can't come on." Both of which are awesome excuses, but I feel slightly bad. But I did show it to my wife, and she said, "No, he's taking a piss. No one takes a picture of themselves having fallen down the stairs."
Okay. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, okay. Hydra is taking the mic.
No,
That's the
clearly
one.
he's not. In which case, get well
Usually
soon. I
he'd
hope
be
he's
like-
okay.
Jack,
Yeah. Yeah.
in the nicest way possible,
Yeah, please change your
could you sort
mic.
your mic out? Because it sounds
You
like
sound poopy.
you've shoved it in the toilet bowl and whooshed it around a bit.
I know.
Don't. We're going to push him over the edge. Last week, this week, telling him he sounds shit. Hydra not turning up. Speak.
Is that better?
Yes.
Sounds better, yes.
Okay, no worries. I don't know.
Excellent. I
I
think
did-
it might have just been clipping, to be honest.
Uh-huh.
But we shall see. Or hear.
So, next week, have we got a guest on or anything happening next week, Frank? And are they going to turn up or fall out the sky or whatever?
You tell me.
Oh shit! Is it
Okay.
next week? Is it? It's our fifth. It's our 5th year anniversary,
Yeah.
and we've
5
got
years of Let's Drone Out. Weekly nonsense.
There
Just
they
showing,
are.
these are the props Tony was on about, the 5 bladers.
Yep.
And they are. It doesn't say what the pitch is. Don't seem to see
I-
it anywhere.
I'm very disappointed I didn't get to play Dementia. Let's play Dementia when he was like, HQ, Gem fan, Dow.
well, Curry Kitten got it straight away.
I got it on my first try because that was the only manufacturer literally I could think of. As I said, my next guess was going to be Tesco's, One Stop, Primark. That's all I could think of.
So yeah, it's going to be our 5-year anniversary next Thursday. So
Have we figured anything out for it?
Well,
Yes.
to reward all our lovely listeners for putting up with us for the past 5 years, Tony's arranged some special guests so you can listen to them instead of us.
yep.
Does that mean I don't have to be here?
Well, it's your 5th year anniversary, Jack. You have to be here. You can't not be here for that. You can do it from the toilet if you want.
Yeah, it's getting that way. It really is.
5 years. I can't believe it. Thanks
I
for
know.
everyone. Who in the chat has been here for 5 years? Do you reckon?
0 for a
Yeah,
start.
Zero. Definitely, he's been here 5 years. Probably Richard Warwick.
Hold on.
I reckon.
Sorry, my
Can you
power's
go
just
back?
come out.
Can any? Oh dear. Can
Something's
anyone
just
go
come out.
back to the first and see if we have any comments from anyone. Jack, it'd be on your channel, wouldn't it?
No, because back then it didn't save the chat. Remember?
Yeah.
That's how far we've come, where Google didn't have the power. At first, the chat didn't work when the Hangouts first started, and then the chat did work, and then it was never saved. And that's why you had people, on OBS squishing everything together and, recording the chat within the video. So
Yeah. Well, anyway,
I don't know unless we mentioned anyone on the legacy episodes. Like, I don't know whether you did any like shout outs or anything. Like if you listen back to the early ones, I remember Zero being like one of our first mods, and that's kind of stuck in. Pretty cakes.
4 years same story. We've got GEFPV. I've been here from the start.
Hey, Karen.
Couple of people for 3 years. So Mikey Dread said, who are the guests? Right, we've got it was going to be Girls Night 3, so we've had very successful Girls Night where we've got some girls FP3 FPV pilots. But
I thought it was going a different direction there.
No. We're going to have Girls Night 3 is going to come on, and it's going to be our 5th year anniversary as well. So there's going to be a lot of people in the chat. So, but it's going to be fun. So yeah,
Thank you for sorting that out.
Yeah, we're going to have some girls on next week, and they pretty much are going to come on unless they all fall down the stairs or
Shady was here for a while. And MC Creations as well is old school.
Yes, very. Thanks for listening.
Dave's about 4. So
Wynn's been here since 7:30, he said. It's not what we're talking about, Wynn, but cheers for being there early.
So, Curry, how's the HD FPV going?
It's still all in the boxes because I'm still waiting for the network adapters to arrive. And it's in the boxes because I have to film stuff. So I have to here are the boxes before I actually do anything. I'll show you what for the crowd of people.
Karen, do you want to come
Here's
on?
a bunch of boxes. I have got 2 Pi 4s, some Zero cams. That's a Pi Zero. This is a screen and a cover for the screen. And this should make at least, there you go, 2 air Pis and 1 ground station, basically.
Oh my
that
God.
looks like too much effort to me. I just went to the DJI store and just went, yes, please, send that to me tomorrow. And it was here, and I put it on and went, yay, that looks like too much work.
So the DJI is available for people with lots of money and practically no technical skills. That's good for you. For other people who like innovations, who like getting behind hobbyists, who don't like supporting monopolies, there is an open source solution for you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tony will be the first one on his knees to our new Chinese overlords.
Well, yeah, he's getting programmed.
Yeah.
There's been a terrible synchronized girls falling down the stairs accident.
That's the point. I've got a HDMI Pi. Is that what screen you've got?
It's the official 7-inch touchscreen.
Oh, very nice. And that's HD as well.
It's not. It hasn't got full res on it, but there's two HDMI's out. I just wanted a portable screen that wasn't too big, so I could just see what was happening. And because the Pi 4's got 2 HDMI's out, you can use that as your general ground station, which will record, and you can take HDMI out to another device, like HD goggles, for example, or a bigger screen if you want to. There are big. You can get like 10-inch screens which are full HD, but that felt like you were wandering around with your
You got to take your car somewhere and put your TV in the boot, and that's how
that was the old days of flying. That would be quite cool.
That would be quite cool, wouldn't it? Just sitting there, all watching a 50-inch
CRTs,
TV.
trying to film them in.
Yeah.
If you're lost as to what Curry was talking about a minute ago, see our previous episode on the OpenHD system.
where I try and, but for
Where
some
our
reason
guest
that guest
didn't
didn't
turn
turn up. I had to fill in
He
for him.
didn't fall down the stairs. He got struck by lightning. Or his house.
Uh,
That was the previous time he was
Right,
supposed
I'm
to.
going to get a beer. Excuse me for a minute. Sorry, Pete.
Well, I will let everyone know some interesting news. So after the show this evening at 9 o'clock, I believe, UK time, on Thursday the 13th of August, Velocidrone are debuting their combat mode in an event that they're going to stream at 9 o'clock tonight. Where I don't entirely see how it's going to work, but there seems to be like a bunch of different modes, like capture the flag and things. So see how that kind of works out.
I think they've just been stealing my ideas since I mentioned gamification. Suddenly, all this stuff's appeared. Can that be a good? You're welcome, everybody, for your Velocidrone upgrades. Take full responsibility.
Sky Notes, I have got a clock to build. I think I've got a countdown timer. I've got like one of the suites, and it's Andy RC's just got to give the nod on like, yep, I want to watch it, because he used to enjoy me putting stuff together. But I've taken the top-down cam of my bench down. So I had a bit of an incident flying Tuesday. Yeah.
You
flew
flying?
something. What?
Well, not very much. I done one battery. I was flying the Z, and
What's the Z? Is this a wing or a quad or what?
it's a quad. It's a racing quad. Hang on, it's just out of reach. Hang on. It is. Oh, very, very racing droney, believe it or not. But yeah, I'm going to be chatting about this. Is it Z or Z or something? I can't remember.
What's that? How's it written?
That means finding. The only way I can immediately do this.
Who makes it?
Very
Is
some guy in
Z
Italy.
the manufacturer or what?
Yeah. Designed in Italy or something.
Can you hear my air conditioner if I leave it on? Or is it annoying?
Yeah.
Turn it off there.
Just be sweaty like the rest of us.
Damn it.
Find out. Hang on.
You bark if you're going downstairs.
Yeah, ZEEZ. So
Z's?
Yeah.
What is that bloody rubbish screen? What? I don't understand that analog thing.
What? Oh,
That looks
Mr. Dom V2's over there. Yeah, so I flew this, and I was flying my wing. Well, trying to fly my wing with poor Magical Pencil, and he. What's up?
Dave Story was asking if I've built my wing project.
Please carry on.
It's currently a stratus of piles of stuff on my desk. It's not the top layer. It is buried.
The answer is he hasn't even touched it or thought about it.
I've just piled other stuff on top of it. That's all that's happened.
Oh dear, Frank.
Please continue with your story, Jack. We're excited about
Jack,
someone flying something.
And Z's. That's it. Yep, that's right.
Z's leash frame.
Yeah, and chucked my wing, and he sliced his finger on the prop. So yeah, I'm not having a great time.
You can't blame yourself for that.
So hang on, someone else sliced their finger. What stops you flying?
Exactly.
Apart from administering first aid.
Apart from he didn't launch it.
Yeah,
that's all right, Jack. It was just a little nip. People, it happens all the time. Don't start blaming yourself for other people's problems.
Did they do like a throw instead of a wing throw?
Just drop some money.
Yeah. So I have ordered a tiny trainer. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to learn how to fly line of sight.
Ooh.
Only
Thank you, Zero. Can you light something, Jack?
Zero.
On a plane.
Yep, I'm on it. No, I'm not lighting my plane on fire.
Legend. Thanks, Zero, FPV.
Thank you.
It goes
My
in
windows are not open.
to
Oh, hello. Always a surprise. Thank you, Zero.
cheers, mate. I think we should talk while the fireworks are going off, because I don't like dead air, especially when I'm free for listening to this. You can't bleed out from your finger in the time it takes to fly a pack or two.
That's what I'm thinking.
Says Clown. Yeah, I agree.
What is the tiny trainer? Is the tiny trainer a little fixed wing thing?
It's a flight test speed build kit.
Oh man, that sounds. As soon as you say flight test, it's like the world's most expensive foam board, isn't it?
Well, not most expensive, but it's up there definitely.
So you're going to line of sight fly a plane.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
circles.
Do some buddy boxing.
I can't.
Oh
because
God! I know what. Do you know I forgot your Christmas, your birthday present this year?
Yeah.
I know what I'm getting you.
What?
Well, it's either white socks and sandals or some Crocs and sandals, or Crocs and white socks. So, I'm going to get you
out to my size.
what 99? I know, probably don't. Right, socks and sandals coming your way.
No, and one thing I do need help with. If anyone knows, I need a JR to Futaba buddy lead or cord. I don't know how to do that.
What?
I've had an
stereo lead like the rest of us.
Isn't the Futaba a little square thing?
Yes, that's right.
I think I've got one in one of the. I've got.
Didn't you get it in one of your Frank boxes?
One of these weird things. Hang on, I might literally have one here, because when you buy one of these weird USB things, you get a bunch of little cables in, and you'll be looking for something like this. Futaba to. Well, it's got a jack, and then you just need to supply your normal 3.5-inch thing. You can have that if you like.
Who made that, and where do I get it?
You can have this one, but I didn't make it.
Okay.
Do you like? I can write made by me, aged 8.5, but no one's going to buy that.
I will get a courier to come and pick that up.
That sounds more expensive than just buying one of these simulator packs for like £6 or something.
Fair enough.
Are you really going to start flying planes, Jack?
No, yeah. the tiny trainer. People are saying is a little funny DRL mini quad thing. Are we talking about? We need to link people to this flight test build.
Yeah,
kit
what
thing.
Is it? Is it a quad or is it a plane?
It's a plane.
Okay. Does it have stabilization built in and all
Will
that?
you be flying in clockwise or counterclockwise circles?
I don't.
Always go left. Left. Always go left. If I turned up at a racetrack and it was going right, I'd go home. I could always fly better going left than right.
It's always easier to push your thumb in than pull it out.
Exactly. That's
I've put the link in the chat for the flight test tiny train. Oh no, Frank's already beaten me. Buddy up.
Well, I think Warwick beat him.
Yeah, I just.
There you go, it looks like that.
I do need some
It's
help.
like a little glider.
Isn't it?
It's a foam board.
But it has servos. And I've bought the servos. They're tiny. They're the little 5-gram servos.
£30. Isn't that like the same price as like an AXN? Which isn't made out of just foam board.
I don't know what that is.
You don't know what an AXN is? What?
No.
It's like saying you don't know what a servo is. What's wrong with you, man?
AXN. I don't know. Just
Yeah,
tell
but
me.
you come from planes before quads, Curry.
No,
Yeah,
I came
yeah,
from
yeah,
tricopters.
Were you a tricopter, then plane, then quad?
Tricopters, quads, then planes. Planes
Really?
came last. Yes.
Oh wow. Okay.
Oh, well, isn't that an AXN just a Bixler?
No, it's a bit different from a Bixler. It's everybody bought them because Bruce years ago did the this is how you build a plane, which I copied. Although I managed to get the ailerons reversed, so my initial flights were not that successful with it. But as
It
soon as I
looks
figured
very
out
Bixlery like.
it is, but it's smaller and lighter.
Yeah, Mr. Shady's got the name that I would know it by, which is the floater.
Floater.
Yeah, but that's
It does.
that's
The nose does break off quite easily, as I found out after 2
Jack
launches
can't
into the
use
ground.
that. Jack can't use that. Oh,
Thanks, Tony.
Jax would be the sprayer.
Fantastic.
if you
I'm glad.
ever release a plane design, please
I'm-
call it the sprayer. I need to put my aircon on. I'm getting too hot. Oh god, no, I won't. The sprayer.
Great.
So-
I'm glad my disease makes you laugh.
Well, you've got to laugh at these things, haven't you? Else,
Yeah.
what's the point?
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
tell us about your.
I'll wait to get cancer, and you can all have a good old laugh at that.
We will. I'll start writing the jokes now.
Cool.
Please tell us about your motivation behind this desire to learn line of sight fixed wing flying.
So I can launch my own sodding planes, and my friends don't have to blend their hands off.
To be fair,
And
it was the first time he launched a plane. Was it not?
Huh?
Why would you hold a wing and launch it like where the proppy thing? I
Was
mean,
it the
if you do it
first-
right
You
anyway, it
know,
doesn't hit you.
launched a
But
wing,
you could
wasn't
just.
Right, I've had this argument. Experimental airlines.
There's several ways to launch it. I just normally hold it by the wing and
Well, I launch all the time wings with my goggles on, and it's just literally power up and chuck it.
so
Using
triggered.
the
I
side of
didn't
the
even watch it, Richard. I just commented. Thank
Who
you.
are they again?
Yeah, I know. I didn't watch it.
Planes
Yeah,
are fun
planes,
too.
planes are fun.
Planes
a
are
lot of
fun. I find them a bit dull in line of sight because after I've done 2 circuits, I'm like, this feels like
No,
flying
that's-
around in circles.
You need to fly them inverted instead. It's more
what you
entertaining.
what
Could do that.
the fun thing about buying a plane
Can you
is,
add my shared screen?
is the 17 grand that people
But-
spend and then fly.
Yeah, that's the correct way to launch a plane, but I'd still prefer to launch it by a wing if it's a wing.
Yeah, I hold the wing.
I find it hooks and it will just smash everything up.
It can
But we
hook.
had-
It can hook. I agree, but
I find that is, I just find the whole wing toss, like especially when you've got FPV gear.
that one
Yeah,
where it shaves you.
I'm also a fan of IP Crazy. The how launch where you do it above your head and you let go.
It's kind of whatever works for you, but I'd like to keep my hands away from the spinny proppy
Yeah.
thing if I can.
I'm sorry, Dave. I hope you're okay.
You
Well, it's
don't
not gonna
fancy just
die.
like copying a feel of the old exposed blender. It's not your scene.
I did launch. If anybody has seen my FX79 videos, which are basically the most
There you go.
failures ever on a plane,
So you're
that's one way.
learning
But I launched the other way.
just to do that, Jack. You can do that on your own, can't you?
You can do that with goggles on. That's the fun of it. For a minute, it's like it's all sky, and then it's like, oh yeah, I got horizon, and then you can sort it out from there.
Especially if it's iNav and does all the takeoff thing on its own. I can even launch my little wing on my own.
Oh,
Just whack it up, whack and launch it, and it just
Lost
Correct.
the plane on CK Sim. Yeah, if you can fly it on my sim, you can fly it on anything. I can build an extra hard version for you.
there you go.
What have you been doing on your sim recently, Curry? Anything? Or...
Nothing, because it was too hot. So all I've managed to do in the last 2 weeks is design different openings so the wall falls down in different ways,
Huh.
which is very exciting. If you're me,
Is it like
perhaps it's just a
collector's
way of
thing?
procrastinating. So what now?
Do you have to like collect all the different openings, like bonus Easter
No,
eggs?
it goes randomly. If you want, I can show you these endings. If you're very excited by openings, if you're very excited by them indeed, and we have all this time to fill.
Richard Warwick says, if you don't have scars on your hands from quad blades, then you're not trying hard enough.
Well, I don't know about that one. Should we have a little shout out while we're well, we haven't done a shout out for ages. Hi Clive, hi Trevor, Liddy, Jibber Jabber, Robin FPV, Mr. Shady, Mikey Dread, what's up my friend, Tailspin, Robin FPV, Clown, tell me if I've said it twice, Spider, I know I've said Robin once, Mr. Fruity Cakes, bonjour, Audio Geek, Phil FPV, hi guys, he says, Fraser Steen's in the chat.
I'm not throwing anything
Who else have
anymore.
we got? Badger RC,
Oh, yeah.
never seen him before. Welcome. Double A, Tailspin, Shady, Richard Warwick, Dave Story, Zero, of course, Win. Oh, that's enough. Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.
Here's the excitement. Are you ready for this? Of what's happened in the last few weeks. You've got
Some
the
bricks
traditional
flying through the
quad
air.
flies through the wall.
Cool.
And then you've got, because we've got planes in the sim now,
Oh, yeah.
here is a plane hitting the wall instead,
Sideways.
Yay.
which is super fun.
Is
And then
there
finally-
Why the traitor then? Why doesn't it go through it? That sucks. The quad goes through.
Because I wanted it to do something different.
And
There's the beach ball. And then the wall just falls over.
What about my face through the wall?
is there any Easter eggs?
No, there's no
Any-
Easter eggs.
You definitely should do Easter eggs.
Well,
Let people
it's
find
too
Easter
hot to do anything. The idea was to get planes in network mode by now, but it's so hot that my brain doesn't work and I can't do it. I started doing it and then it gave up. Not realistic, the wing stayed on.
Oh,
Can you
I
make the
think-
quad a lot bigger?
Trevor
Yeah.
is AKA Darno.
Yes.
So Trevor is Darno. Been sick
Oh,
too. Oh man.
I know, no, buddy. I've still got your quad hanging on the wall. Curry kitten. There is a mode for oversized quads, isn't there?
You can make them look bigger in the online game, but they're not actually bigger, they just look bigger.
You can't do
So
it.
it helps when chasing.
Hmm.
But yeah, I can make them look smaller and bigger. But it's mostly just cosmetic. So all the like people's requests for, can you put a different quad in it? It's like, yeah, but after I do all the other stuff, which isn't happening because now it's too hot. And also I've got that HD system down there I need to put together. Fortunately, Jack's here, so I can ask me all my pie questions to him. And
No.
I'll be safe. Because Jack is a pie expert, or a pexpert, as we call them in the trade.
Jack's a dickhead.
So, Jack, what were you dragging Don Clifton on to talk about before he threw himself down the stairs?
Hopefully he will do it in a couple of weeks. We can fit him back in again.
Lost
If he's
my right
like,
leg a few weeks ago. Oh, buddy, no.
my
What?
God.
Amputated?
I expect so, as opposed to he lost it in the sofa or something.
Yeah, where is it? Oh, we can't find it.
Sorry
It's
to
like the
hear that.
bottom scene, isn't it, with the carved wooden leg? No?
Something like that.
Maybe you should watch that, Trevor. You'll probably find that quite amusing.
Yeah, if you find any enjoyment in this.
Well, he knows what what we like and stuff. So I'm sure-
Oh
Sorry,
no,
Frank.
this is full of bad injuries. Now we've now got like, sorry to Trevor, but now we're talking about thumbs getting chopped off by sticking it through the prop on a Hydra plane.
God.
I'm hoping he didn't say, "Hey, is this spinning?" And someone just.
And
Wow.
this is exactly the sort of stories we want you
Yeah,
sending in to
save these
letsdroneout@gmail.com.
Mr. Shady's peaked too early here. Save these.
Save these because this is going to be our October Halloween special. So
We want to know, why did he stick it through the prop? What sort of plane was it? What sort of...
and
Did
can
you
we,
put the thumb in your mouth?
and is there any pictures? Please get them ready for October.
The scariest I've seen, the worst pictures ever of launches going wrong, because when a launch goes wrong and people don't release their hand, what you get is cuts all the way down the arm of the prop and spin, and it's nasty, really nasty.
When I first flew years ago with Tony and Dan Upton and Oscar Lang, I took off too close to me and zipped all my those bits of my knuckles from the Tyrannus, and the quad went up my knuckles, and that was pretty horrible. So that day, I don't know whether you remember that. That was the day where we set up some gates and we were flying through them.
I kind of remember. It's probably about 6 years ago. It's probably 6 years ago. If this has been going 5 years, we must have been flying quads and stuff for at least 6 years then now.
I know.
I always would say, yeah, I've been flying about 5 years, but I keep forgetting it's time carries on and it's probably 6 or 7 years now.
And you're not 20 anymore.
Well, my brain and I still think I'm 20. My body's starting to say no, but at least I don't fall down the stairs. You know, I'm not.
He had dementia all the way back then too.
I did. But I'm not an old boy who falls down the stairs, Dominic Clifton.
Oh,
that's an old boy, isn't it? He's probably.
I remember last time you were in hospital, Jack. You did the podcast from your bed. So, come on, Dom.
Oh, I remember that. I kept pressing. I kept. He was really chatty, and there was this button I could press to administer morphine to shut him up.
He's a bit chatty. Let's make him unconscious.
Thanks, man.
Oh my god, his wee was this colour. It was orange, worse than that. Do you remember, Jack? Your wee was so orange.
Why are you talking about this? Any more of my personal, fucking medical history you want to give out?
I remember you chatting. I
wish I was. I'm gonna log in.
This is what you get from 5 years of weekly podcasts.
Jack's just gone to throw himself down the stairs now to get out of this conversation.
It was well funny sitting there. You just see his eyes roll back in his head. I'll press that button again.
I've been really lucky. People are talking about like accidental arming and stuff. And when I was first trying to make my quadcopter, which was 8 years ago now, would you believe? I hadn't any experience of radios, and someone had lent me this 40 megahertz one, which I just plugged in. And I didn't know about channels and stuff, and I was trying to figure out what control did what, not knowing. And I started reversing channels and seeing what would happen. And of course, I reversed the throttle, and this huge tricom just jumped back and hit me in the face. Fortunately, the props didn't get me. It sort of went. Ugh. Weirdly, I managed to do that twice. I didn't learn from the first one, and I got a small cut on the leg, so I got pretty lucky there. He's back.
Yo, how's it going?
Good. What have you been up to when you were away?
Logging in.
Too.
Yeah.
What?
There was this guy.
Logging into what, Jack, when you were away?
It's just something young people say now.
Just logging into the mate thing.
Just a little euphemism. Robin FPV says he came from helicopters, so he already had a healthy dose of care and attention.
Yeah, I guess you only get to make your mistake once with a big heli, don't you?
Jibber Jabber said, I done the same. Luckily, I was wearing Kevlar gloves. and it only damaged them. Never put pre-arm on a quad so fast in my life. Yeah, I know. There is bad stuff what's happened. I mean, I've still got a chin injury. Under this little goatee beard is a pretty big scar where I get hit in the face with a quad. That was not a nice day. That was a 5S with a GoPro on it.
Do you remember we were at Hobby King and someone managed to get hit in the face by someone else's quad, didn't they?
Yeah, that was not good.
No, that was
Did
like,
they
and
bleed and go to hospital like me?
wow, they were very manly about it, weren't they? Just like, whatever, it's a quad. It looks quite bad. I just don't know how that happened. I mean, they didn't. It was a very small area to keep a quad in, and you weren't netted away from anybody.
Well, I
safe
reckon I could take a punch.
Buffer zone between the racing area and just Joe Public.
I snapped someone's quad in half with my chin, so I ain't got a glass chin. I should have been a boxer.
Is this you just going up and going on a quad, or did it hit you first?
No, it flew into me. Shouldn't have been on the track, and it flew into me. And it was 5S with a GoPro on it. It was very fast. It was at the start of the race, so it was. Didn't get knocked out, so. But it was very painful. Very painful. Anyway, these are stories.
It sounds like a new Jackass stunt, doesn't it? It's like, hi, I'm Johnny Knoxville, and this is Quad Punch.
I watched. What was I watching? I had to turn off because I watched some of. He was on a YouTube thing, and he was doing my top 10 injuries or something, and I got to about 3 and went, nope, off now, no. When he jumped in something and caught his back on something, and then his bone come out his foot, and I was like, that's enough. No. I don't care. You can be a millionaire by doing that. I'm not. No way. Rough.
Fergie says every video on YouTube about how to set up pre-arm is done by someone with a plaster on their finger.
That's brilliant. Look at this. Jeremiah Davis says, my DJI eyeballs and Nebula are coming today. What drone do I install on first? Whoop 5, 6 or 7 inch? I don't know. What do you fly the most? Stick it on that. That's what I say.
Will it fit in a Whoop?
No. Big one, yeah.
The squeeze.
Big one. I see. Right, name some people that we know.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Time to play Dementia.
Bloods. I've got it. Bloods has just released a new, a little 3-inch drone that you can put the Cadex in. I can't think what it's called, but he's got a nice little quad 3-inch. Have a look, Frank, quick, and tell me what it's called. I'm so hot.
Oh, these comments are starting to get hard to read. Jibber jabber again. I did have to glue my hand up the other week, but that was due to a Stanley knife getting too close while working on a plane. They're dangerous too.
Glue wasn't actually invented for...
Yeah, I think super glue was invented for medical stuff, wasn't it?
It was invented for glue, because my brother used to glue all the time. He used to send me pictures of his fingers and like bits hanging off, and then he used to stick it back together and just literally glue it. And I used to go, oh, that's disgusting, but it worked all the time. And then I looked into it, and it was they invented it in the First World War to glue people's stuff back together. I don't think it's the guitar pick.
It's not the guitar pick. I saw it on the Odin. You're right.
Odin, it's called. Yeah. There you go.
It's quite useful. You've said what size it is, because I saw the picture and I couldn't work out just from the picture what size it was, because they all look kind of proportionally the same. It could have been anything.
It looks pretty good. I'm gonna. I might get him to make me one, because I can't. Please
can't make anything.
I made my plane fly once, and then Jack made it fly the rest of the time.
Didn't really fly, did it? It just you threw it hard.
Flying, gliding is flying, isn't it?
Well, then a stone flies for a while as you throw it.
It does.
He's the only person I've ever known to successfully fly something using servos powered by 12 volts instead of 5.
Okay. Okay.
Fraser Steen has a little story in the chat of when NDRC nearly died from a prop strike. I was there for that. We did definitely have to administer first aid for that one.
What happened to that one? I don't know that
No,
story.
you can't talk about this until October.
Oh, do we have to wait till Halloween?
31st.
Yep. If someone sends me in a good horror story, maybe we'll share the NDRC story with them earlier. Otherwise, you got to wait till Halloween episode.
Yeah.
Ah, disappointment.
Concrete Snail's first aid kit is super glue and electrical tape.
That's a good kit.
Funny enough, we used electrical tape for gauze.
I do know one of my friends that used to fly at Mad Dogs was building up really long range stuff, and he went for this launch, and it caught his hand, and he said, I don't think he's watched it yet. Basically, he's got a snuff video of all these camera angles as this thing tore his hand in, and he said, well, he managed basically to call his wife and say, I think I've buggered myself up. Help! I'm down here. Get an ambulance. And she was like so unfazed. She's like, "Oh, I can see all your tendons from here. This is amazing." And so he said he's got the SD cards, but he's never had the guts to watch it back yet. I don't know if that's still the case or he's
See
actually.
if we
watched
can
it
get
since.
that SD card for our
Halloween episode.
for our Halloween episode. That'll put people off.
That is a real horror show.
There's also a story I've got from a few years ago from when someone managed to do a suicide dive into someone else's face. That was entertaining.
Ouch.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I mean, I think
Those
that
are the
may-
ones you talked about at those
Where
cliffs
from?
you mentioned.
I thought you were never going to talk about those because it was that horrific.
It was pretty bad, but we'll see.
I do remember that.
Oh, I think I got to buy a new GoPro lens.
What have you done to it?
I let Sheldon near it.
Oh dear.
That's a bad idea.
Yeah.
Where are you on your stripping down a GoPro idea, Tony? Have you given up on that idea? Naked
Yeah.
GoPro?
Well, COVID happened, and that means no seeing anyone, so I couldn't really go down to Jack's, and everyone's
Yeah,
stripping
only-
sixes and not sevens.
That's because they want real steady to work with it.
I just want a 7 strip, but there's no online tutorials. Plus COVID, and that means handing it through the letterbox to Jack and things like that. So
Yep, Tony's not part of my bubble. He chose someone else.
I've only got 2 bubbles.
Yep.
Sorry,
He
Jack.
didn't love me. I know.
Well-
You're my wife.
Well, I know, but I need the space.
Richard Warwick in the chat says this stream should never be shown to the CAA.
I don't think any of the LDO stuff should be ever
I know.
It's true.
shown.
Well,
So who has got flying
I've
plans
actually
in next week?
blocked.
Me, this weekend I'm going to go for a fly because I haven't flown for 2 weeks and I'm missing it, and I'm going to go. But
Where? With who?
well,
I'd
that's
say what you're flying, but it's like I've only got one quad now. It's the DJI quad. Oh, DJI.
I will. I will take analog quads, but they will be the last.
But just to sneer at and go, see what you could have had.
They're the ones that I'll just lob on the floor and stuff. I don't know. I'm just. The thing is, like, everything's been done, so there's nothing new to do, and I'm still not to 1,000 subscribers. I'm just so bloody close, and I just think, what can I do different? Because otherwise, people are going to see me at Hidden Valley do the same thing. I'm going to follow a plane there. I've run out of ideas. I don't know. So I'm just
I keep telling you my
about
dynamite
finding out
ideas. Like It's all the and you never guess what happens next business. These seem very popular. And you could do like I flew a quad into my face. You'll never guess what happened next. Then you can do Tony reacts to man flying quad into face video or something like that. It's just,
I don't know, man.
just ideas, man. Here.
I don't know.
Fraser Steen in the chat earlier had an interesting suggestion. You know, if you can't fly, but maybe just maybe you take your sea kayak out or something. There's all the cruise ships that are out in the channel at the moment that are all just stuck in the middle of the channel, not going
How
anywhere.
far out are they?
Not very.
Have you? I went out on my
Within visual line of sight.
I went out on my boat the other day.
Did you see any?
Whenever
No.
you say I went
Not
out on
on
my
the
boat,
river.
it sounds like a boat, not a canoe. I hate to make a
Kayak.
distinction.
I went out on my
Yeah, look,
kayak.
everyone knows he's not Mr. Darcy, okay?
I haven't got a boat. I've got 3 boats, but they're kayaks. Find a lightning storm. Oh, I've had no lightning here. I've got a quad specifically waterproofed and plastic, so it won't get struck by lightning. It's not carbon, so I could literally fly up into the lightning. But we've
And
had
the
nothing.
motor's plastic as well. Then I'm confused there.
No, well,
Yeah,
they
it's got
could, they
plastic
could
magnet
get, they
and
could
flight
get
controller.
I really don't think the conductivity is a problem. You know, if it's going through like a few 100 feet of air, I think probably a couple of millimeters of plastic probably aren't going to make too much of a difference. And I think you're probably going to have more of an issue with when there is a lightning strike, all the radio noise that just comes
Yeah,
off of
I
it.
know. I will fly if there was a storm out there, and I was out and about, and it was coming, and I could see it. Oh, I will. I'll take my waterproof quad and I'll fly it straight up into a storm. Sod it. A mile out from Southampton and Plymouth.
Oh, I think I know where it must be. I've still got my nautical charts from when I had an actual boat, and there is a deep water.
I'd fly out to that. I wouldn't even take my boat.
There's a deep water mooring which most of the big container ships and cruise ships use just outside of Southampton water. Southampton water is the sort of area that there's sort of fin between Southampton and like Gosport that then goes out into the Solent. So you could definitely.
So my
The only thing about
friend,
flying out there is
my
people
friend who
would
come
sort
with me, Bruce,
of wonder what you're up to on the beach.
come from Isle of Wight, so he had to come over on the ferry and then come up to me, and then we went out. So I might go and see him and then go and fly out to, rather than paddle. If it's only a mile out, I could fly out to that and back. Easy.
Beaches might be a bit busy at the moment. That's your only problem.
Well, you know me, I get up at 4 a.m,
Oh God.
be there at 4:30, fly out.
What is wrong with him?
With you.
I'm living my life, Jack. I'm having fun. I'm
Just
not-
living his life, but going to bed at 10 o'clock.
I do go
Yeah.
to bed at 10. Actually, it's 9 now.
Can you imagine
Right.
him in an old people's home? He's the only person who's happy to be there.
I'll be the only person not wetting myself or still standing up while you lot are in wheelchairs and pissing your pants. Cheers.
I'll be defecating myself.
Exactly.
for your
You already
information.
do it now. It's like, what's different?
4 a.m. is a particularly active hour. It's amazing. Is anyone getting the ghost? We're I don't know. Frank could, because Frank isn't a crossfire boy,
This is correct.
and Curry's a reviewer.
I would potentially
Yes,
consider
but
it.
I did message Tony, and Tony responded by not responding at all and completely ignoring me. So I'm not
called him
looking good
earlier.
there. You
Did
called
he-
him on
And
the
he
Hello.
didn't
telephone.
answer.
Or did he say I fell down the stairs?
No, he just ignores me.
Oh, fucking hell.
What's
I
wrong?
might have called him as well. Let's all call him and say, look, come on. Talk
We're all
about it.
being ignored.
Yeah.
I'm interested because it seems like did we talk about this last time? It seems like very quickly there's been 2.4 systems that talk long range. Although that Fly Sky one apparently goes up to 2 watts, which could have something to do with the range it can get.
Fry your brain or
But is it like suddenly there's this new 2.4 chip and a couple of people have jumped on it very quickly and said, "Oh look, we can go for a long way with this."
don't know.
I guess so. It was kind of covered in Joshua Bardwell's video, though. So
I haven't watched it. What did they say on it?
I did watch it, but surprisingly, they didn't talk about other 2.4 systems whilst they were doing that advertainment there.
Robin FPV says he's not really happy with the look of any radio or system at the moment, and I know what he means. Like, the closest I've got to being like, that could be an interesting new radio, was actually the Beta FPV one, the ridiculously cheap one that you had to like glue the ballast into. That was like, that's
Too
an
small.
interesting thing.
Why glue the ballast? Or
That was
don't you
just
mean
me, it
balance?
happened to.
Yeah, look, Dave Story said there's
No,
a new
I'm-
chip.
It's a new chip called LoRa. Oh,
Apparently,
well,
Mm.
it's a system that's been around for ages. I don't know why they would now come into this. I don't
You've
know.
gone very quiet again, Frank. I can see
Sorry,
what
I
Tony's
moved
talking
away
about
from
now.
the microphone by a short distance,
by
which seems
moving
to be
right.
an issue at the moment. What was I saying? Oh yeah, it definitely was ballast, Jack. It's like literal lumps of lead or something.
Yeah, I've
so.
got it here. And what happened during shipping, when I got it, I sort of rattled. And what I found is there's these little weights in each of these to make it feel like, oh, it's quality because it's heavy. And if you take them out, it's lighter. And I had to stick that back in. And also my little vibratey thing, what would you call that? Had fallen out and I had to stick that back in.
Haptic sensor.
Yeah. But it's not your traditional one with the sort of spinny thing with weights that are uneven. It was just this little, like a coin cell almost.
That's lovely.
Was it haptic or taptic or something? I
Haptic.
can't remember.
That's haptic, I expect. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a bad price, is it? 116 quid, free receivers. That puts it very squarely against the micro crossfire pack, I guess. It's the version 2.
Do you
Which
reckon
is
everyone's going to jump ship from Crossfire to that, or just wait and see what happens? Or
I expect a
people-
bit of waiting because it's about more bandwidth on that frequency, isn't it? You've got room to hop about as opposed to
good for racers, I suppose. Racers,
Crossfire. You have to turn off telemetry, don't you? As soon as you
Yeah.
get like more than a few up there.
I'm happy with my Crossfire. I'm just going to leave it.
I can't tell you what this group is, but it was an FPV group, and it was hooligans.
Long range
And-
hooligans.
No,
You're allowed. We can say long range hooligan.
I thought you could remember it.
I
I thought
was
he was having a
very
dimension moment.
surprised to find some people that I know in it who I thought were good boys and girls.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and I'm shocked, and I saw like the Maytech 1.3 in there, and I was chatting to Painus about that, and he says it doesn't really work with GPS sensors, so it upsets them.
Audio Geek says it's limited in in Europe. What is that? The ghost we're talking about?
Yeah.
That's probably why he doesn't want to come on and talk to us lot. Then let's go to America and talk, where I can really say it goes far. But if I come on the LDO podcast, so you're in England, I have to say it's only limited to 1 milliwatt and it goes to the end of the garden and back. That's why they don't want to come on.
Anywhere currently in the world, you can say you can fly for 10 miles with this. Or you could say you could, but of course you wouldn't. But it'll get you to the edge of line of sight really nicely.
With line of sight, can you use
Binoculars? No.
No.
But why did how then did Rotor Riot do line of sight video using telephones and cars?
I
Was that
expect
in
they
the
broke
UK?
some rules.
It wasn't in the UK, obviously
Well,
USA. But they were telephoning line of sight.
You can.
Yes, I
do-
can still see it because it's flying right next to my effing car.
Well, you can do extended visual line of sight, but you have to get
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
an extra. You have to write out like how you're going to do it, like risk assessments and all that kind of stuff, and send it to the CAA,
Well, it
and they
must
go,
be
yes,
Risk
okay.
assessment. It's flying next to our car at a 3 foot.
exactly. So, you'd have to make the case that it's not going to harm anyone else that isn't under your control, isn't going to be a risk to general aviation, all that kind of stuff.
I just send pictures to the CAA of my spotter with a load of carrots next to him. My spotter has really good eyesight because they never get to a limit.
Fair enough. Shall we call it there? We're at an hour 5.
Yep.
No worries. Thank you. You've been listening to Let's Drone Out. Hopefully, we will have a excellent show next week because it'll be the 5th year anniversary. Don't forget to send in your FPV horror stories ready for October.
Please
And
tune in next week. Sorry,
massive
Jack.
shout out to our Patreons. Tony's now in charge. Carry on, Tony. Do the outro.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to say please tune in next week. Sorry. Carry on, Jack.
Let's just hope they don't throw themselves down the stairs.
And, we hope you're all right, Hydra, and getting better, and you're not too seriously hurt. Thank you. I've been joined by my little wife,
Bonjour.
Andrew / Frank,
Bye.
everyone's favourite curry kitten.
Help me, I'm melting.
And I've been broken to Wi-Fi. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Patreon. Thank you, everyone. We love you all.
Bye.
Bye.